What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And in this video, we're going to go over the new information that we just heard about the second stimulus check and the second stimulus package and what's holding it up. And we're going to go over all that in just a few minutes. But first, if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check updates. My wife and I do hours of research every single day so we can bring you all the up-to-date information in a quick video. Also, if you can, smash the like button for me down below. It really helps out our channel. Okay, this is the perfect time to remind you guys, I haven't gone over this in many videos, that I am not a Republican or a Democrat. I am a realist, okay? So if the Republicans do something that's good for the American people, or, the president says something good, does something good, like the presidential executive orders that he passed to extend unemployment and the eviction moratorium, all that good information, I thought that was pretty good. So I said it was pretty good. But there's many times where I think the Democrats are doing something good, and I'll say it's pretty good. And it's funny because if I praise the Republicans or the president for doing one thing good, I'll get dozens of comments down below in the comments section saying, you're a Republican, we knew it. And then if I praise the Democrats for doing something good, I'll get, 25, 50 comments saying, you're a Democrat, why are you pleading for the Democrats? So again, I am a realist. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. In fact, my parents and my wife's parents are Republicans and Democrats, and they vote that way every year. So I get to see both sides firsthand, and I try to shoot it right down the middle. If somebody does something good, I'll tell you. If somebody does something bad, I'll tell you. With that being said, one of the big themes of the last 24 to 48 hours that I've been seeing a lot, and I've been seeing it from you guys in the comments section, is that you wish that these negotiations between the Republicans and the Democrats was televised or was made public, because what happens is they're talking about spending trillions of dollars of our money, taxpayer money, the United States money, and whether or not to give us stimulus checks, pass unemployment, give money to schools, money for this, money for that. And it's all being secretly done behind closed doors between four negotiators, two for the Republicans and two for the Democrats. And the big theme going around is that this should be publicized, this should be televised, or at least the notes and the information should be made public. Because what happens is they go negotiate for 2-3 hours and then they say, oh, it went good or oh, it went bad, and we don't know much information. But we have gotten a lot of information today through Nancy Pelosi's press conference that she just did and gave us all the information, at least from her point of view. So you're going to hear some stuff from the Democrats' point of view. And again, if I think it's right or wrong, I'll let you know. A lot of times I don't say anything because I just want to stay down the middle and give you guys the important information that you need to know what's going on and why these checks are being held up. Also, I want to let you know that negotiations have restarted. Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin for the Republicans, the Treasury Secretary, talked by phone yesterday to iron out some details about the next stimulus package. So they are negotiating again. And I want to remind you that it doesn't matter if Congress, the House, and the Senate have gone back to their states for recess. It literally doesn't matter, because it all comes down to these four negotiators. Once they come to an agreement, then they've said that the House and the Senate has 24 hours to come back to Washington, no matter where they are. They have to fly back, drive back. They have 24 hours to come back and then vote on it. So it doesn't matter that the House and the Senate are on recess and have gone back to their states, because they will come back within 24-hour notice to then vote on the stimulus package and the stimulus checks when they come to an agreement between the negotiators. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi gave an over an hour long press conference telling, what's going on with the negotiations. We watched the whole press conference, and I want to give you guys the highlights because it gives you a lot of insight of what is going on with these negotiations. Okay, so one of the big things holding up the negotiations is the Democrats want money for the United States Postal Service And President Trump doesn't want to give any money to the Postal Service at all because he doesn't want to support mail in voting ballots at all. He doesn't want anybody to be able to vote through a mail in ballot. He says that absentee ballots are okay, but he doesn't want any mail in ballots at all besides absentee ballots. The Democrats want $25 billion for the United States Postal Service, saying that there's millions of people that work there and there's hundreds of millions of people that depend on the United States Postal Service to receive their mail, to receive their prescription, and to receive all sorts of things, packages nowadays, through the USPS. And without that, the Postal Service could be harmed severely. So let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with mail-in balloting or not? The problem with not doing mail-in balloting is that millions of people are going to have to go wait in line at an election and the virus is still around. So if you have millions of people in line, it's surely going to spread the virus to many more people. That's the problem with going to vote. The problem with mail-in ballots is that there can be a lot of fraud with that because you're literally just mailing in a piece of paper. Anybody could do that. They could mail in 100 pieces of paper. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. As you can see in this screenshot from the press conference, shows some of the differences between the Democrats and the Republicans. As you can see, the Democrats want $60 billion for anti-hunger and food assistance, and the GOP, which is the Grand Old Party, also known as the Republicans, only want $250,000 for that. The Democrats want $100 billion for anti-eviction and rent assistance, and the Republicans want nothing. The Democrats want more money for testing and tracing, and also for schools. They want $300 billion for schools, and the Republicans want $100 billion. Now, to be fair, this is coming from the Democrats. They're showing their, positive things that they think that, they should show. The one thing they didn't show there is they want $1 trillion for states and cities that need funding, that are running out of money due to the pandemic, or may have been running out of money even before the pandemic. The Republicans are only willing to do about $150 billion, saying that anything more than that is just excessive, and they just don't want to spend $1 trillion on bailout money for states and cities. Nancy Pelosi said in the news conference that they're willing to come down $1 trillion, and if the Republicans, the Democrats are around $3 trillion, the Republicans are about $1 trillion, and she says if the Republicans can come up to $2 trillion, they'll go down to $2 trillion, and they literally can have a deal. I've been saying all along that I think that they should just pass a bill with all the things they agree on, which might be 10 different things: the stimulus checks, unemployment extension, some money for schools, this, that. Pass that deal, get it done. At least we get 10 things passed. And then the things they don't agree on, they can work on over the next week or two or three and then pass another package. Nancy Pelosi says, this is her quote, "We're sitting at America's kitchen table fighting for the working America. And across the table, there are people sitting at the boardroom table of corporate America. We have different perspectives. So $2 trillion, let's sit down and decide how we would spend that. Let's have it based on science, data, and put money in the pockets of Americans to honor our heroes by supporting state and local governments." She says, when they're ready to negotiate to the middle, we'll make a deal. But we're not going to be inching away from their meager piecemeal, which means they don't want to pass individual packages. They want to pass all these major things, like 100 different things in one package. Then the press asked Nancy, why can't you come to an agreement? And Nancy said, because we are miles apart in our values. And Nancy said again, and this is a quote, this is the second time she said that, "Perhaps you mistake them for somebody who gave a damn." Those are harsh words. And remember, these are the words from the Democrats. I'm not for Democrats or against Democrats, but that is the information she gave us to look inside of their negotiations on basically what's going on. I know it seems like there's a lot of frustration, but they have so many things that they've already agreed on. They've already agreed on a $1,200 check for Americans. they're very close, if not already agreed on, the permanent unemployment extension for Americans. The president passed what pretty much is a temporary extension of unemployment at $400 per week and $300 per week from the government, $100 per week from the states. President did say that he's willing to help out that extra $100 per week for states that can't afford it. Nancy Pelosi wanted $600 a week. They're at $400, and then Nancy said that she's willing to come down a little bit. So honestly, unemployment isn't really a non-starter. They have pretty much an agreement there, or they're very close. It's just a lot of these other issues like the post office and money for states and governments, which is a huge amount of money they want to spend, and maybe a few other details, but those are the minor things. I mean, maybe not minor in their eyes, but in our eyes, they're minor things holding up this stimulus package. So they did talk on the phone yesterday. Hopefully they keep talking. Hopefully we get more information so that we, the Americans, know what's going on and how they're going to spend our money, the American people's money, the United States money, instead of doing this negotiations behind closed doors and not telling us any information. So make sure you guys have subscribed. Click the subscribe button. Make sure you've smashed the like button for me. I will share more as I learn more. I will keep you guys up to date as we get more information. Honestly, we're getting new data, new information every single day. I mean, just last week, the president signed these 4 presidential executive orders. They literally came out of nowhere. And when they do come to an agreement, they'll probably start passing them in the House and the Senate the next day and have it on the president's desk in literally a day or two to pass this. And the Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that the IRS will start sending out the money within 7 days of it being passed. So when this does happen, it's going to happen very fast. So make sure you guys tune into my videos. I'm going live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Eastern because there's so much information coming out on a daily basis. And this top video is my newest stimulus check video. You can watch that next. And this bottom video is an award that we got from YouTube with my wife and my son in that video. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon. I teach people how to sell that, and I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.